Years ago, I got caught in the South Pacific on a little tiny sailboat in a raging, raging storm. And it was about a 38-foot boat, and it was just my girlfriend and I and this crazy old sea captain guy. And it was terrifying. It was 1 or 2 degrees below a hurricane. I guess that was called a tropical depression, huge waves. But what happened was the waves and the wind was so intense and the skies were so dark for so many days that at the first few days it was really tumultuous, but everything was kind of the same. And then gradually, as it calmed down, the seas got a little less calm, but everything was still really gray. And I remember looking out all the time, and you lose your appetite when you're seasick like this. And so I was pretty altered anyway, but I was just spent most of the time just looking out, looking for land, actually, looking on the horizon line. And that's the only place that you would look, because that's where the sky met the sea. And that's where, in the beginning, there was no difference at all. But that eventually, as the storm lifted, there became more and more of a difference between these two areas, between the sky and the sea and where they met. So everyone, my name is Nicholas Wilton, and this is Art to Life. And today I'm talking about edges in our art, but it relates to edges in our life as well. It's no mistake that not having a difference between edges on that sailboat creates a kind of monotony, and it was hard to just stare out at nothing. And so what we want to think about when regarding edges, where two things come together, where the sea comes together, where a beach meets a coastline, where a river cuts through a field, that's where the interest is, that's where the energy is, and that's what happens in our artwork. Edges are really, really important, potent areas, and it can provide a really great opportunity to troubleshoot our work and to optimize it. Edges are transitions. Edges are where one thing begins and something else ends. And depending on what's beginning and what's ending, that creates the energy. On that sailboat, there was no difference. There was no beginning and end in the beginning. In the first part of that storm, it was just all the same. It was so hard. There was nothing, you got nothing stimulating. It was hard to not be depressed. Gradually, as that lifted and the sky became more blue and the water became more calm, and the sky, the water had reflection in it, and the sky was more clear and had color to it, there became a juice and an energy. I felt lifted. I felt more hopeful. So when we're looking at our work, where things meet becomes really important. And we can look and decide what kind of transitions we want to have. If this is really, really light, and then this is darker, that's a difference that creates potency, and it makes us feel a certain way. And so we can look at our art depending on how it makes us feel, or we can just start to understand in our art where these edges and how we're constructing them, what we're putting together to create the interest in our work. An edge that doesn't have much difference is just as valid and as important as one that does. We get to decide how we want to feel, how we want the viewer to feel, but it's also how we feel. If you connect with how you're feeling and what you're wanting to say in your work and how you're wanting the viewer to feel, is it abrupt? Is it an abrupt change? Or is it more of a subtle change? This has that feeling. This has the quietness and the subtlety. And then this has a boldness. So it's all edges. This is interesting in here, but it's nowhere near as interesting as when it goes from one to the other. So this is just an invitation to think about that and to look at those areas in your work and adjust those, because that's where the power is, that's where the potency is. And the more something becomes like something else, the more quiet it becomes. And the more different it becomes, generally the more interesting it becomes and the more bold, and it has an attitude to it. Anyway, so that's something that I'm inviting you to do. Leave a comment below. How do the edges in your work make you feel, right? Like you can look at it that way. They all have a certain feeling to them. And all the different feelings that you have in your work is the sum total of the work, but it's really a reflection of you, and it's a reflection of you in your life. So go ahead and leave a comment below. And also, if you want to join the Art to Life Facebook group, go ahead and click on the button below. There's some amazing work being done in there, and you'll find a lot of great stuff. So hope you have an awesome Sunday, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, thanks. Hey everyone, if you found this helpful, I have a whole lot more to teach, share, and inspire you with every single week. So please join the Art to Life YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Okay, great, let's do this.